Right, here we are. It's the last day of the month, and more importantly, it's my last day driving a car for a while. Depending on what Bath magistrates decide to do to me tomorrow, I'm going to be banned for 3, 6, 9 or 12 months. I don't know, so feel free to place bets and have a sweepstake on it if you want. I'm not going to go to court. I figure it might be better if I stay away, because less of me is going to be more in a courtroom as far as I'm concerned. I may not be as solemn as they may require. Anyway, 4 weeks today, we get one of the biggest budgets that we've had in recent times. I do believe that Miss Reeves may be about to attack everything that me and you hold holy, i.e. going to the pub, eating stuff, smoking if you want to, and cars. And she is going to come for our entire way of life. I don't think there's any doubt in that whatsoever. What she's going to do with beer, I presume, is just to put alcohol duty up, just to make it more expensive and make it less attractive. And we'll do the same with wine and spirits. Fags, I can imagine that just going through the roof. I'd be amazed if they don't put like 20% or something on fags. And then they're going to announce that they may well tinker with the laws on licensing as well, and make it harder for pubs to work. But the main thing that they've saved up is motorists. Now, they've said they've leaked. They're not going to go down the paper mile route yet, because obviously that was met with too much opposition. But it doesn't matter, they've got enough in place to keep it going. First of all, the zero emission vehicle mandate that have been pushed back to 2035, that's coming back to 2030 straight away. They're not going to mess about with that. But then in the meantime, that gives you 6 years to sort yourself out. So in the meantime, what they could do is make electric vehicles more attractive. They're not going to do that. They're going to keep in place the fact that as of next April, all milk float drivers are going to have to pay road tax. And at this is the bit which I think they're going to change, because they're meant to be paying road tax at the same rates as petrol and diesel drivers. And they're going to have some weird ranking system. But I think virtually all milk floats will be paying £150 a year. Plus, if your car's worth more than 50 grand, you'll be paying the £550 expensive vehicle tax for 5 years. And they're going to keep that in place. They're not going to get rid of that, because they're just going to grab every penny they can off everybody. So even you milk float drivers out there that have been smug about how much money you're saving, that ain't happening next year. However, I think it's going to get worse. Not for you, milk float drivers. You're going to be fine. You're just going to have that flat fee to pay. I think they're going to put road tax up again. And come next April, petrol and I think particularly diesel drivers are going to get hammered. I think a 20% increase in vehicle duty for diesel, probably 10% for cars, and no percent for electric, because that's the way they'll sell it. We're doing it to save the planet. Well, A, it's not saving the planet. We've already established that. No planet is being saved by a milk float being driven. But they will sell it to the milk float drivers that, look, we've kept it low for you, and we've put up the nasty petrol and diesel people even more. And you'd think that would be enough to hammer the motorist, wouldn't you? But no, because petrol is now at an all-time low. 130 most places. I've just put momentum in this, and that was only 140. So it's an all-time low. That is a deliberate strategy, and I expect the prices to drop over the next couple of weeks even further, because they're going to scrap the fuel duty freeze that I think was brought in by George Osborne. Anyway, Labour are going to scrap that, and that will, in theory, right, in theory, put 1% on the price of a litre of petrol, which is 1.4 pence. Not a chance. We all know how that works. 1% at cost is 10% at the pumps. So you can expect fuel the day after the budget to go up by 20p a litre, which is why they're deliberately bringing it down. Because the oil giants couldn't give a shit about the Labour government. They don't care. So they will manipulate the prices, bring the price down, and then when they put fuel duty back up, it'll go back up to where it was in the first place. For now. And then Labour will bring someone in, and they'll bring it up again. And they'll increase fuel duty at the next budget. So we're not going to get hammered on fuel. We're simply going to end up paying the same as we were 6 months ago by price fiddling. I know there's probably a technical term for it. Price manipulation. It's the same thing. They're fiddling the prices so that we keep buying petrol and diesel. But then they're going to come for that as well. So that's your road tax going up. That's your fuel going up. And your expensive car tax and everything else. And they're still going to keep going with the zero emission vehicle mandate. And I wouldn't be surprised if they don't put in extra measures to force people into milk floats. I don't know what they're going to be yet, but let's face it, they couldn't give a shit. They're just going to do it anyway. So, budget predictions, we're going to pay more. Well, I say we. The one advantage I've got is that for the first period of this budget coming in with the new charges and everything else, I won't be able to drive. So, you know, I'll probably save a few quid. But then if I get banned for 6 months, I'll be back on the road in April, just in time for all the new rises to come in. So whatever way you look at it, God hates me. Which is a nice cheery thought for a Monday morning. So, oh, look at that. Dangly things are falling down. So that's it. The budget is going to screw over your lovely middle-aged white male in every possible way. Everything that we hold dear. And I wouldn't surprise if she doesn't somehow try and tax sporting venues a bit more, so we can't even do that anymore either. Because it's about dissolving our fabric of society as we know it. And they don't give a shit that we know that they know that we know. Because they're going to do it anyway. There you go. What an uplifting speech for a Monday morning that was. A future of my arse.